Today we're going to be playing What Remains of Edith Finch. Hello. Today we're going to be playing What Remains of Edith Finch. I'm Ruby Redheart, and that's our gaming video for today. Let's go. Oh, it looks like we're on a boat. Oh look, there's a little sailboat over there. Oh, this is very pretty. Oh, that's all.
A lot of this isn't going to make sense to you, and I'm sorry about that. I'm just going to start at the beginning, with the house.
Is that the house in the back?
I lived here until I was 11, but I wasn't allowed inside half the rooms.
Well, I think that confirms that that's the house. But also, I wouldn't let a kid near the top of that. If I can see the house from here, I wouldn't let a kid there.
Inside the mailbox were bills from 7 years ago, marked urgent, open immediately.
Well, I don't think that those are urgent anymore.
I hadn't been back since my brother Lewis's funeral.
I mean, I understand why you wouldn't want to come back here after losing your brother. Just because of all the memories that you have of them. But also, it's not like you can punish yourself forever. So, I kind of feel like life will have to move on. Oh, I really liked how those letters just flew onto the ground. It was really cool.
In her will, my mother left me a key, but didn't tell me what it unlocked.
Well, that's not very helpful, but...
Maybe she thought I'd know. Or she thought that the mystery would be enough to bring me back.
Honestly, if somebody handed me a random key, I probably would have lost it before I ever came back. So.
No one had driven this way in a long time, but I saw a few hoof prints.
I don't see footprints, but I believe you. Probably a deer. Hopefully it's not still here. Oh, is that a moose or is that a deer? Oh, that's a deer. That's cool.
The truth is, even after I inherited the house, I never thought I'd come back to it.
Well, I guess it's understandable.
But now I had questions about my family that only the house knew the answers to.
That's interesting. Wonder what's happened for the house to hold the key to all of the answers that she wants to know.
The house was exactly like I remembered it, the way I'd been dreaming about it.
That's a crazy house. It looked crazy far away. But, like, they kept on building it up. I wonder why. Also, the front of the house just looks like a regular house. So it's not like they probably intended for it to look like that. Wonder why they didn't just make, like, a third story instead of, like, building up and up. I mean, it is whimsical, though. But I don't know how safe that structure is on the side. The ones on top of the main house are probably okay, considering that they have the rest of the house supporting it. But that side is what I'm talking about. That side's not very safe. Missing Milton Finch, okay?
As a child, the house made me uncomfortable in a way I couldn't put into words.
I mean, I understand why, considering how unstructurally sound that one side of it definitely is.
Now, as a 17-year-old, I knew exactly what those words were. I was afraid of the house.
Well, I mean, you should be afraid of the house. That whole side over here that I'm trying to look at, that could come down at any moment. Whoever built this house probably wasn't a contractor. If they were, they might not be a good one. I don't think that this will work for the key.
I hoped the key might unlock the front door. It didn't. Looking in, I felt like the house itself had been waiting for me.
Huh. Well, we know at least one person was either older or in some kind of pain or a wheelchair because of that, but that's a lot of books. Most houses don't have nearly this much. Wonder if they don't well, they have bookshelves back there, so they definitely have bookshelves. So I don't know why there's just so many books out. Anyway. Let's go looking on. See if there's another entrance. You'd have to open from the inside to them. Plus, also, if they had that many unpaid bills, they probably don't have power in this house now.
Crawling through the doggy door used to be a lot easier when I was 11.
Well, I mean, that's to be expected. You're 17 years old. You're not supposed to fit through a doggy door. And also, you were 11 at the time, so of course you probably could fit through a doggy door. You were probably really small. It's to be expected. I bet that this won't work.
The power had been turned off the night we left.
Yeah, that makes sense. You had a ton of urgent bills, so that makes sense.
For the first time in years.
For the first time in years?
I felt like I was home.
Well, this was your house for 11 years, so I'm glad that you feel at home here.
But instead of a family, there were just memories of one.
Yeah, there's nobody else is in this house anymore, so. But why would you leave all these things? Anyway. Oh, Lewis is the one that's dead. Loving memory, Lewis Finch. December 27th, 1988 to November 21st, 2010. Beloved brother to Edith, son of Dawn, great-grandson to Edie. Memorial service, Finch Family Cemetery, 2141 Fireweed Road. So the Finches have their own cemetery. Interesting. Witch's Kitchen? Okay, all these books look like they be in a kitchen, except for Witch's Kitchen. Yeah. Even the weird recipes would make sense, because you might just want to cook something odd to see how it tastes.
Like how after Lewis started working at the cannery, we all got sick of eating salmon. Except our cat, Molly.
Yeah, cats will never get tired of tuna, I don't think.
Nothing in the house looked abnormal. There was just too much of it. Like a smile with too many teeth.
Well, that's kind of creepy.
My mom wasn't much of an optimist, but she never stopped believing that my brother Milton was alive.
Oh, so Milton's her brother. Well, I mean, if I were his mom, I wouldn't give up hope that he would be alive somewhere until I knew where he was. I wouldn't give up. So, I understand that.
A lot of things got left behind in the whirlwind of that last night.
What? Why did you leave so fast? That's weird. Is this the people? It is.
Edie told me once that every Finch who ever lived is buried somewhere in the library.
Well, I hope not. That would be unsanitary.
Great-Grandpa Sven built a music box for Barbara, along with the rest of the house.
That's so sweet. Is that Barbara? It's so cute. Oh, there's Barefoot. I mean, not Barefoot. Bigfoot in the background. It's cool. I'm pretty sure this key won't work, but I'll try it here.
Mom always told me to stay out of the basement, so I wasn't too surprised when the key didn't fit.
Okay.
Even the fireplace had a story. Edie told me the bricks came from the original house, after it sank.
Oh, that's really cool. Also, why did the original house sink? I guess we'll find out. Hopefully.
The table was still a wreck from the night we left.
Well, I mean, you guys left in a hurry.
It was like a bomb had gone off, killing everyone but sparing the furniture.
My question is, why didn't you guys put up the plates or throw away your containers at least? I mean, what happened?
My mom was the only one of us who could imagine Great-Grandma Edie living in a nursing home.
Well, I understand that it's hard on family whenever people become older and they need care. People have their own lives and they can't do everything for them even if they didn't have their own lives. And sometimes nursing homes are the best option. It sucks, but that's life, unfortunately. Hopefully, if she actually went to a nursing home, she was treated well. But I don't know why her oxygen tank would be here if she went to a nursing home. So, to me, something else happened with Edie. Okay, I guess we need to go upstairs now.
After Milton disappeared, Mom sealed up all the bedrooms.
Why would she choose to seal them?
Then Edie retaliated and drilled peepholes.
Okay, so that explains why there are peepholes. But it's still a little weird. This railing must have broke. Cool. Interesting. I bet that we'll find out what happened here eventually. I hope so, at least. Molly. Well,
Molly always seemed like a girl I could imagine being friends with, if she hadn't died in 1947.
so, you named your cat after someone that died in your family? That's a little odd. And she had some kind of pet hamster, gerbil, maybe a rabbit? No, because it has a will. Could be a mouse that she had. Oh, Molly, 1937 to 1947. She was 10 when she died. That's sad. That door's open, so I'm gonna wait to look at it.
Barbara was a child star for 2 years, until America grew out of it.
This bedroom's so cool. And that's Barbara probably back there with Bigfoot. I wonder... She must have started something with a Bigfoot to have so much Bigfoot stuff, unless she just liked Bigfoot. It's possible. But this is a really cool room. I would love to have this room. Anyway, how old was she when she died? 16, I think? So, she was young too. Oh, yep.
Whenever people ask me about my family, the first thing they always want to know about is Barbara.
Well, she was a child star, so that makes perfect sense. Most people would know about her. At least more about her than the other ones.
Mom must have locked the third floor stairs on the night we left.
Okay, well, can't go that way. But her mom has a bad habit about locking everything up. Sven Hofstad Finch. 1915 to 1964. Well, that's actually not too bad. He didn't die too young. And then Edie. She lived quite a while. So, it's not too bad.
The last time I was in Edith Sr.'s room, I was 10 and she was painting my portrait.
I still think that it's weird that these have people's names and when they died on their room. It's almost like this family couldn't forgive or forget what happened to their family members, so they just left their rooms as memorials. What is this one? Gregory.
As a kid, I just assumed every house had peepholes and sealed rooms you weren't allowed inside of.
Well, that's what kids do. They assume that whatever they're around is normal. So, were you around all this when you were really young, you probably thought that this is how all families operated whenever somebody that they loved died. But I'm worried about this room. I think I just read that Gregory died when he was a year old, and this is a bathroom. So that worries me. Also, don't get me wrong, I think that pink shag carpeting is cool and all. But in a bathroom? Imagine how bad that would stink. there'd be mold, there'd be pee, and possibly other bodily fluids like spit all over the ground. No. He did die really young. That's sad. Calvin.
My Grandpa Sam spent 7 years sharing a room with his dead brother, Calvin.
I hope that you mean that his body wasn't in here. I hope that you mean just that his side of the room was blocked off and was a memorial, not that his dead brother literally lived in the same room with him. He died young too. He died at 11. I'm still so sad about Gregory. Okay. Now remember there was an open door over here. Let's go look at it. This one's open and no peepholes. Interesting.
I spent a lot of time playing in Great Uncle Walter's room.
Well,
I think my mom sometimes regretted not sealing it up.
this is a cool room so far. How is that the old house that they talked about? And there's I think that they're going for a shark right there. And then that probably said the Finches originally. But man, it's just so cool. I would love to have had this room, so no wonder why you played in it. It also seems to be the only room on this whole floor that is open that you could get to. So.
Lewis told me there were secret passages, but I never believed him.
Oh my gosh. This will be so cool. I wonder if this is a secret passage then.
Turns out, my mom was really good at keeping secrets.
Yeah, I would say so.
Now it was time to find out what my mom had been afraid of.
Oh my gosh, that's so pretty. I like that stained glass.
From the paintings on the wall, it was clear my brother Milton had been here before me.
That's sweet. I wonder if we find out what happens to Milton.
Reading this, maybe it sounds like I had a plan.
I mean, yeah, kind of, but...
But I had no idea what was behind that door.
Oh. Okay. This is Molly's room.
Just like I had no idea where all this was gonna lead.
Oh, this room's so cute. Oh, and she had little castle paintings.
I grew up looking at Molly's room through the peephole.
Yeah.
Molly's gerbil had a tiny bedroom with its own even tinier gerbil cage.
That's so cute.
Being inside for the first time, I felt like I'd stepped behind a painting.
Yeah, this room, you probably didn't even feel like it was real because you can never get to it. Molly Fitch.
December 13th, 1947. Dear Diary, I'll be gone soon, but I wanted to tell somebody about what's gonna happen. It started when Mom sent me to bed without dinner. I woke up and I was starving, so I looked around for something to eat.
Let's see about candy.
My Halloween candy was all gone.
Well, let's ask Mom if she can get us some food.
Mom, can I come out now?
sweetheart. It's late. Go to sleep.
Also, I don't like people that send their kids off to sleep without food. Kids need food. They're not going to sleep. They're going to be hungry. It's not good for them. I mean, I understand they did something wrong, but taking away food is not a good option. Take away something that's not a necessity to them, like their toys, or if they had candy, take away their candy. Whatever they enjoy, that would be a fitting punishment that's not like food or a need. Take that away. If they have a phone, take that away. You know? Just don't take away.
The gerbil food was dry, but I didn't mind it.
She literally ate gerbil food because she was hungry. Though I will say, chances are the gerbil food would be fine because they make it so that humans can eat pet food. So, look at that little fishy. Isn't it cute?
I thought about eating Christopher, but I held back.
Oh, I'm glad that you didn't eat Christopher. It looks like Christopher's hungry, so you might want to feed him. But if you had his food, you'd probably eat it. So. What are we doing in here? I thought that you were trying to find something to eat. No, you can't eat that. No. We're just going to go to bed. Nope. Can't go back to bed.
I kept eating and eating.
Is this toothpaste? You should not be eating that. Okay. These don't look like real berries.
I ate a lot of things that night.
Yeah, I think that those are like the styrofoam berries. And if not, then that's mistletoe. I don't think that you're supposed to eat it. I think that that's poisonous, actually.
Then I heard chirping outside my window.
Oh, look at that.
It was a barn swallow going back to her nest. I reached out for her. And suddenly, I was a cat.
Okay, interesting. I hope that... this goes... okay.
I tried to be quiet, but the bird was really scared.
Can you get over in there?
Mom and Dad didn't even look at me.
Huh. That's sad. But you probably just looked like a normal cat to them.
I jumped and I almost got her.
Okay. And I guess where she's hungry, we're going to be eating the bird. That's sad.
I could tell she was getting really tired. Now I was up in the big tree. I promised Dad I wouldn't climb it anymore. All I cared about was eating that mama bird.
How does she know that it's a mama bird anyway? I mean, she didn't specifically see her with her eggs or babies.
I gobbled her up. And suddenly, I was an owl. First, all I heard was the wind. Then I heard little teeth nibbling in the grass. Rabbits. I imagined his face looking up and seeing mine through my talons.
Molly!
I swallowed him up, and I didn't chew one bit. Then I flew off to find something bigger.
Molly, honey, this is a really morbid scenario. You thinking about eating things.
A mama
alive
rabbit.
And having them look at you. Oh, another mama. What are your issues with? Oh, I got it.
She was almost too big to carry. I started choking, but I couldn't stop eating.
Well,
And suddenly, I was a shark.
that's a very bad choice in next animal. You're out in the snow. How are you gonna get to water? Oh, there we go. Ooh. If this really
I
happened,
rolled off a cliff and into the ocean. Now, I was hungrier than ever.
if this really happened, she'd be in a lot of pain from all the falls.
I wanted fat, juicy seeds. I tore off her flipper, and it tasted really good.
Weird thing to be craving. Where did it go? There it is. This is really hard. Come on. I will say, I do think that's cool that we're swimming in water. Sorry. I'm really sorry. I'm a vegetarian, so I would never do this. I'm so sorry. I honestly don't know. There it is.
out of the water. When I opened my eyes, everything had changed. Now I was a monster, and I smelled people everywhere.
Oh, so you think that not It's weird that Molly's dreaming about being a kid. I don't know where we are.
I was big, and I moved real quiet. I wanted to stop, but also I didn't.
So you didn't really want to stop.
Belly was rusty, razor, his belly was rusty, his belly was rusty, razor.
After the last passenger, I was still hungry. And across the water, I smelled something new. Something I had to have, so I swam towards it.
Okay.
I slithered onto the sand, and the good smell went into an old pipe.
It seems like this is a sewer system. Are we coming out of a toilet? I think so. Wait, is this? It can't be, right? It is. This is Molly's bathroom.
I got closer and closer.
So we're coming back here. It smells good too.
All of my stomach started growling,
That's creepy.
and suddenly I was me again. I held my breath for a long time, but I couldn't hear anything. I think it's waiting for me to fall asleep. But it's not going to wait much longer. It needs to feed, and we both know I will be delicious.
That's creepy. So she essentially hallucinated after everything that she was going to get eaten alive after eating everything.
I'm not sure if I believed all of that, but I'm sure Edie would have.
I believe that she imagined all this would happen to her, but I don't think that happened in real life. I think that it's where she was poisoned from eating everything that she shouldn't have.
I got the sense Edie had spent a lot of time here before my mom sealed the doors.
I mean, she probably did. Molly was her daughter. This room's so cute. I do like the little wooden painting of Molly.
This will be obvious later, but my mom never told me any of these stories. Edie would have, but Mom didn't like bringing up the past.
Well,
Though, when we adopted a stray kitten, she was the one who named it Molly.
So, her grandmother named it Molly because one of the first things that Molly imagined was becoming a cat. That's very interesting. Not Edie's mom, by the way. I mean, Edie's grandmother, Molly's mom. And I know why Edith's mom would not want her daughter to know these stories growing up, especially when she was young, because that would terrify a little kid. Just the thought of what Molly was saying, even though that's probably all from a hallucination.
I spent a lot of time in Great-Grandma Edie's room.
Probably one of the few rooms that you could actually get to at the time.
We got along, and it was a good place to hide from my mom.
Yeah. Well, that makes sense.
Her room was like a museum.
I get that. There's lots of books and art and stuff.
For 500 years, the Finches have been famous throughout Norway for their fortune and misfortune. Odin Finch buries the latest victims of the family curse, his wife Ingeborg and their newborn son, Johan.
That's sad.
On January 7th, 1937, he set sail with his family and his house, hoping to leave the curse behind.
Well, no wonder why the house sinks. Look at how big the house is compared to the boat. If they really wanted to get the house there safely, they should have cut the house in half and then shipped it in 2 sections. And then once it got there, or wherever they wanted it to be, they just would staple it together, glue it back together. That's what they do with trailers. And you can do the same with houses, but it's just on a big truck, not the ocean.
But 40-foot waves off the coast of Washington send the house and Odin to the bottom of the sea.
Well, you can't predict weather, but you could have had less of a chance happening if you sent half of the house and then the other half of the house. I still think that you probably lose one or both halves of the house.
Odin's daughter Edie, with husband Sven and baby Molly, step ashore on their new home, Orcas Island.
Let's see.
Odin Finch is the first to be buried in the new family cemetery.
Well, that's sad. But
His daughter Edie is already dreaming of a new Finch house.
that's kind of weird. Your dad dies, and then you're already dreaming of having a new house. That's a little sad. I mean, I do know that they needed a new house, especially with a baby. But it's still a little sad that her dad dies and then she's dreaming of having a brand new house. Well, now we know what happened to the house and even Odin.
Whatever's wrong with this family, it goes back a long ways.
Oh, and the little leaves are from a marriage, because Ingeborg is his wife. Okay. Interesting family tree. It's weird that everybody is dying so young. Maybe there really is a curse. Mole man beneath the Finch house?
Edie gave a big interview about a mole man living under the Finch house. My mom was furious.
I mean, I would honestly find it funny. I'd just leave it alone. I mean, unless there really is somebody living underneath the house. Which I don't know that I would put it past this house.
I hadn't thought of myself as Edith Jr. for a long, long time.
She was named after her grandmother. Yeah, that makes sense. Built 1937, Sven Finch. Oh.
When Edie told people Sven was killed by a dragon, she could also have said he was building a dragon-shaped slide that collapsed.
Hey.
She could have, but she didn't.
You know what? I probably wouldn't have told anyone he was killed by a dragon-shaped slide either, because honestly, it's so much cooler to say that your husband was killed by a dragon than to say that your husband was killed by a slide that was just shaped like a dragon.
Even in her 90s. Sometimes Edie seemed a lot younger than my mother.
Oh, is that Edith? There's Edie, her mom. Well, there's Edith, and then Edith's mom. It's so cool. Oh, pink bathroom. Don't want to know what happened here. I know a baby died here. Or they just put it in.
The only trace Grandpa Sam's first wife, Kay, left on the house was the pink bathroom. It was a pretty big trace.
Yeah, I can definitely say that. I'm surprised that they didn't get rid of the flooring, because that would get moldy very fast. There's a secret in this bathroom with Sven and Edie Finch.
There's a secret in this bathroom. It's in the last place you would look. It isn't in the cupboard. It's hidden in this book.
That's so cool. I like that. Calvin Finch, born April 25th, 1550. Is that what it says? Died September... No, that's not. Calvin was born April 25th, 1951. He died September 23rd, 1951. No, that's 61. Oh my gosh. I really need to see if I can change math. Resolution. No. Okay. Nope.
Sven gave Sam an old camera he'd refurbished. He never put it down.
Oh, that's very, very sweet. I wonder if he's the one that took these pictures then. Why is there just a picture of the swing? I mean, cool, but that's a little odd. Picture of a deer. Murder probe clues exhausted. Couple turns land into a native haven. Early work on railway, I think, or rail. I think that says railway. Interesting. Oh, Milton was here. It's cool that he signed everything.
I knew Grandpa Sam had a twin.
Yes.
And that he never talked about him. I guess my grandpa didn't like history any more than my mom did.
Well, I mean, I don't know that I'd be talking about my twin much either if he passed away. You know? It's just something sad that most people wouldn't want to talk about.
How I Want to Remember My Brother by Sam Finch. The thing I remember is that when he made up his mind, that was it. My brother said he'd die before he ate another mushroom, and he did. At Barbara's funeral, we swore we'd never be afraid again, and he wasn't. I think Calvin always wanted to fly.
I think most kids do.
Calvin! Dinner's ready!
Coming!
But that day, he finally made up his mind to do it.
I think that most kids would ignore their...
I told him going around was impossible.
and they want to go around on the suicide. I don't think that you could actually do that, but now most kids would want to.
Maybe if I hadn't said that.
Calvin, I'm not gonna tell you again.
Maybe if the wind hadn't picked up,
It's not your fault that he...
then maybe he'd still be here. But I doubt it.
No matter what, it's not your fault that he died. He chose to do this. And an accident happened. Accidents happen. Oh gosh, he's getting...
I think he'd already made up his mind.
Probably did make up his mind already.
That's what I want to remember about my brother.
They always made up his mind. I mean, I understand wanting to remember that. That seems to be part of his personality. But it seems like the twin brother is blaming himself for whatever happens. He shouldn't be though. It's not his fault.
The day he made up his mind to fly. And he did.
Calvin's story felt strangely familiar. When I was younger, I remember trying to do the exact same thing.
Well, most kids try to do the exact same thing, but most of them don't succeed. Okay. And I think that this is where I'm going to end this video. I will for sure be coming back to finish out this game. That will probably be 1 to 3 more videos. So be sure to come back next week if you want to see what happens with this family.